Now for a movie rant break, One Up presents a movie rant break. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the movie rant break. Today, we got a Christmas episode, so Merry Christmas to all you beautiful people out there. Got returning guests in the building, Matt G.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. I'm very happy to be here. Very happy and excited to talk about this movie. It's been a little hiatus, but we back.
Hey, yeah, you got the sweater on. I ordered a sweater, and it wasn't a sweater, and it was not the right size, and all this other bullshit. I had planned on having a Christmas sweater. Don't have one. I'm sorry. I tried. Really did. But at least I'm matching Matt G's Christmas sweater, which is beautiful. It's a beautiful sweater.
Thank you. It's not like an ugly Christmas sweater per se, but it's very, it's classy. I got the nice little reindeer there. Very spot on for the movie we got. I mean, for you got the green on, but the glasses have the little red in there too.
And the green.
So
shout out to Gucci. And I just, since we talk about ugly sweaters for a quick second. So when we grew up, our generation kind of, I would say, started the ugly sweater thing.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It was in the realm of like, we were in high school, it was like a thing.
Yeah, it was definitely a thing in high school. Like we kind of like capitalized on like shitty 80s sweaters and 90s sweaters that like looked like, wild for like the 80s and 90s to wear in like the, the 2000s. But it's perfect segue into the movie we're talking about because somebody in this movie has awful sweaters.
Which can we get to in a second, but I just wanted to touch on the fact that like the ugly sweater notion has got construed, in my opinion, where like if it's just pizzazzy almost, it's ugly. But I'm like, because I've been in some ugly sweater competitions, and I went to Goodwill and got like a stained ugly sweater years ago. And people were like, that's a pretty sweater. And I was like, this is disgusting. There's stains on it. Yeah. But the person that won had like bedazzled their shit with like poof balls and shit lights. Yeah. And I was like, that's not really ugly. It's
like playing the game like on steroids for baseball. You know what I mean? It's not fair. It's not an actual ugly
but
sweater.
I just feel like the ugly sweater notion has changed a lot. Like it's just like it's a certain design of sweater versus like that sweater is gross to look at. Where I find that the air quote ugly sweaters are generally the best looking sweaters.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Weird.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyways, I just want to say that. But anyways, me and Matt G today going over the Santa Claus. Yes. Came out in 1994. In November 11th. I think the premiere was November 5th in 1994. It was directed by John Pasquin, written by Leo Benvenuti, Steve Rudnick, produced by Brian Riley, Jeffrey Silver, Robert Newmeyer, and the film was starring Tim Allen, Judge Reinhold, Wendy Crewson, David Krumholtz, Peter Boyle, and a bunch of other people as well. Naturally. Cinematography by Walt Lloyd, edited by Larry Bach, music by Michael Convertino. Excuse me.
It's very good pronunciation.
Thanks. I've been really trying to work on that. Runtime of 97 minutes. Budget of $22 million. Box office $190.3 million. Which is pretty substantial.
Very good.
Definitely.
170 in the green, roughly.
Say it again.
170 in the green million. That's pretty.
Oh yeah, and dude, that's big numbers. I know.
And like think about like residuals now too.
Oh yeah, like the streaming and all that nonsense. Let me see. I want to pull up the reception that they had. So IMDb gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 73%.
Okay.
Brief breakdown. Do you want to hit it? This is one of your. You can if you don't want to, I can.
No, you hit it. You hit it.
Okay. So. Like a normal single man, Tim Allen's character, Scott Calvin, it's Christmas Eve. He's at his house, some commotion on the roof. Allegedly, it's Santa Claus. He goes outside. Santa Claus falls off the roof. And there's a card that's left with the outfit of Santa. And come to find out, there was this clause on the card that stated, if you put on the suit, you will become Santa Claus. So Santa Claus got murked by falling off the roof. Scott Calvin, unbeknownst to him, put that on and then assumed the clause and became Santa Claus. And I feel like that's fair.
Yeah, it's the trials and tribulations of a divorced man with his wife and custody over their kid. Has a little bit to go in there. Obviously, the first a couple scenes, he's kind of like a dirtbag toy salesman, essentially.
Which is ironic.
And then, ends up becoming Santa Claus.
Was my brief breakdown not good enough for you?
The only thing it missed was just like the divorce, because Charlie's a big part of the movie, so that's all. Just having his kid, you know what I mean?
No, that's fair. I'm fucking with you. But I did think that was a good element to have in the film, where it shows the angle of a single divorced father with his son, and how, sometimes I think it's common for the kid to be privy to the mother and like the new stepfather. And so it's kind of cool to play that angle.
And like for a Disney movie, very like impressive, like with that like level of layers to the movie, I should say.
Yeah, and it just was like organic.
Yeah,
like it's real life shit. Like that's a thing, and I think Disney has strayed from that realness.
I think you could say that.
Yeah, it's fair.
All I can think of is the South Park episode with Cartman. Make it a girl, make it lame.
Yeah, the Panaverse.
Yeah,
fucking Kathleen Kennedy. I just watched that a couple days ago.
So funny.
It's so good. So tell people about this film and how it plays a part in your life. Because you told me this a couple weeks back.
So every Christmas I will watch that movie at least once or twice by myself. I will make some cookies, like Nestle Toll House cookies, get a glass of milk, eat some cookies, and watch that movie, because what's better than watching a movie with Santa Claus and eating some milk and cookies?
Whole milk, 1%.
Oh, whole milk, dude. If you're not drinking whole milk, then there's no point to drink milk.
Shout out to Oakhurst. That's a
Smiling Hill Farm too.
Oh, Smiling Hill Farm in Maine. Yeah, that's the best milk I've ever had. That's facts. If you're ever in Maine, go to Smiling Hill Farm. The chocolate, the strawberry.
Yep.
Any of their milks are absolute deliciousness.
It goes crazy.
Ice cream too.
Ice cream goes crazy.
Yep.
They got like strawberry milk, coffee milk, like any type of milk that you can imagine.
It's
in your
so
brain.
fucking real. Like that's how milk should taste.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
What type of cookies?
Chocolate chip.
Do you get the Toll House break-off joints?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. You seem like a break-off Toll House.
It's just easy, man. I can just throw in like 4, you know what I mean? Nothing too crazy. And then I still got cookies left over,
What do you do with those?
I mean, I eventually eat them. Maybe I'll watch Santa Claus again, you know what I mean?
Do you dip them or do you bite?
Bite, sip.
Bite, sip?
Yep.
Okay.
The only cookies I dip in milk is Oreos.
I mean,
double stuffed too.
You gotta have double stuff.
Yeah. People that have like regular Oreos and like this is superior, I'm like, I don't know if I can trust you.
I don't know if I've ever heard someone actually have that take.
I've had multiple people tell me that. I'm like, you're wrong, but okay.
They're now out of your life.
Yes. Yeah.
That makes sense.
We moved on.
Yeah, so this film, I thought it had a cool take where Santa dies.
Yeah. I have like going back and watching it now and like overly paying attention. They were plotting on Scott Calvin from the jump in that movie.
As far as
all these elves, you notice a lot of the little kids, especially when he's in the car scene where he's driving from the office back home and they're driving through the downtown. There's a little girl that watches his car go by with elf ears.
They are speckled in there.
They're at the Denny's, like, you know what I mean? They were plotting on Scott Calvin being Santa Claus. They knew who they wanted to be their next Santa Claus. Like, they were headhunting Scott Calvin to be Santa.
Yeah. Is it because of his initials was the same?
I think, that has a part to do with it. Toy salesman. And obviously that guy needed a little bit brought back to reality and, back down to earth as he's lying to his ex-wife about being late because he was at a company Christmas party saying there's traffic on the road.
That sequence is funny.
Yeah. And just like stuff like that. There's nobody on the road when he's driving. Like nobody.
Tim Allen this is in Tim Allen's prime.
Yes. Oh, yeah. This is like, what is it? Home Improvement prime. Like
his one-liners were great.
Yeah. Buzz Lightyear. Dude, the quips he has to Neil, incredible.
Yeah. And you were trying to talk about his ugly ass sweater.
Yeah.
See, that's an ugly sweater.
Ugly sweater.
That's
ugly
a true
sweaters.
So like if it's not that ugly.
Correct. I don't
like
want
that's like ugly number one,
yeah,
I think.
100%.
It's the ugliest sweater I've ever seen.
Oh, they're all awful. And I love the fact that I'm going to bring up a character different, like later on, Bernard. Literally, when he sees Neil at one point, literally goes, "Did we make that?" And like goes over and checks the sweater to see if it was like made at the North Pole, which is hilarious.
Word. What did you think of him being like a psychologist and having like the logical standpoint the whole film.
I thought it was really good. It was definitely a good aspect for them to have, being like, well, he's a psychologist. Obviously, when Charlie finds out his dad's Santa Claus, goes on the route with him that night. I mean, you're not going to tell an 8-year-old kid who's seen with his own eyes that his dad isn't Santa Claus after he knows he is Santa Claus. You know what I mean? So, like, obviously, that's the whole, like, mid plot of the story is Charlie being like, no, you guys are wrong. He is Santa Claus, and Scott's like just trying to keep, some custody of his kids, some visitation, while Scott is going through some physical changes in the time. Putting on weight, shaving his face, getting a beard back immediately.
Which is alarming.
Goes from lactose intolerant to not lactose intolerant.
Was he actually lactose intolerant originally?
At the beginning, he says to the girl, I'm lactose intolerant. And then when he comes back as Santa, he drinks the milk and he's like, ugh, what is this? And
I don't
like,
think he actually was lactose intolerant.
She goes, well, you said you were lactose intolerant. He's like, you're right, I did.
Well, see, I think that was just him being a dick.
A dick, yeah.
Because favorite line in the movie, and shout out to my mama, her favorite line as well, you want the doll or not? And he chucks the fucking doll at the tree. And then she's like, Santa? And he's like, Scott Calvin.
Yeah, Scott Calvin.
And then he proceeds to tell her that he's lactose intolerant, which I think is just him being a dick.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he actually was, but I assumed.
But like the difference in the taste of milk, like the way they did it, it's really funny.
Yeah, he's like, I think it's rotten or whatever, but it's soy. On the psychologist tip, I feel like psychology was on the uprise in the 90s.
For sure, yeah.
And I feel like them having the movie kind of like
have that aspect to it is very, very 90s, and like, you know what I mean? It just worked out great with the whole story with Charlie and like, Tim Allen, Scott Calvin's ex-wife, and her being like, well, like you're making our son believe that you're Santa Claus, and like that whole aspect was really, really good.
Well, because it's really unhealthy naturally to think that.
Oh yeah, of course.
So it's like a cool angle to have for the characters and stuff. I thought you talk about Charlie is played by Eric Lloyd.
Yep.
That kid, I thought he did really well. And I think he complimented Tim Allen well. And you brought up Bernard, David Krumholtz. Those three were, everybody did good in the film, but those three like really.
Oh, yeah, it's like the big three of the film, you know what I mean?
I thought, like Bernard, I think is my favorite character.
Okay, yeah.
In the movie. And yeah, they held it down.
Yeah,
like really
100%.
Well.
Yeah. I would have to say, obviously, I think Tim Allen, Scott Calvin's my favorite character.
That's fair.
Like his one-liners, his sarcasm, his hatred towards Neil at the beginning. And then like his acceptance of at the end of the movie being like, we're all one family. Like me, you, your mom, and then he like pauses and he looks and he's like, and Neil. You know what I mean? And that's just like him accepting that like he's no longer going to be with his wife, but like they're all still, one family unit. Which in that day and age in the 90s, and as we've gotten from the 90s to now with like how prevalent divorce is, I think that's like a good, message to people essentially.
That's fair.
Like it's more about the kid than it is about, your relationship with your ex or whatever,
No. It definitely has good morals in this movie.
For sure, yeah.
And it also poses lots of questions and like scenarios that would be problematic.
Yes.
And they like work through it and it becomes like this,
Yeah, this whole one big happy family at the end.
Yeah, which is cool. And who do you think delivered the presents after Scott Calvin assumed Santa Claus? Because they weren't done. So like the kids not obviously
it's a great question. Charlie brings it up. Charlie goes, listen, not everybody celebrates Christmas. You know what I mean?
But like you think
maybe that was towards the end of the run, like happened to be in the Chicago area for Santa Claus. That's where he wraps it up. So, Scott Calvin did a few houses.
So did the original Santa Claus know he was gonna die there?
Yeah, I think so. Did
he go back to his regular life?
No, I think at that point, whenever you become Santa Claus, like you live for an exponential amount of time. And at that point, I'm sure that Santa Claus was like, I've seen what I needed to see. I'm all set.
Wow.
Because
he looked like he was trying not to fall off the roof, and then he just dies. But he did like his little wave in the snow.
Yeah,
he seemed okay with shit.
I think he was okay going out that way. Because you got to think about it for him. When did he become Santa Claus? In what scenario?
He was the first. Maybe
correct.
He was the first.
In what scenario did he become Santa Claus? Was he kind of in Scott Calvin's similar shoes, being like, "You need to learn this lesson, dude"? So that's how I like to think about it.
Yeah, I was just really concerned about the kids and if they got all their presents.
I think they did, yeah.
They did. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that set design for the North Pole
Sick.
was super on point.
Super cool. Yeah.
Like it felt actually like the North Pole and Santa's workshop, and it just.
And I like how they made like all the elves like they're like actually adults. You know what I mean? Being like, what's her name?
Well, they're kids.
Yeah, they're all kids, but like they're actually like adults. What's the girl's name that brings them the hot cocoa?
I forget.
I forget her name. Oh, it's really gonna bother me. But when she's just like, Scott's like, oh, like you're like really nice, and she's just like, I'm seeing somebody in rapping. Like,
Yeah, what did the rapping thing mean?
like wrapping presents.
Okay.
Yeah,
Judy.
Judy. Thank you.
Yeah, nah, Judy was great. I want to have a little bit of that cocoa.
Dude, that cocoa looks so good.
I think her 1,200 years.
Here's a great question: are you a marshmallow or whipped cream person for hot cocoa?
I think I never really thought about it, but I guess marshmallows.
Okay, I'm a whipped cream.
Okay.
Yeah. Dilutes it a little bit.
You gotta.
better in
The
my-
thing that people do too is like you gotta put milk, not water.
Oh yeah.
Especially
if you're
in 2 packets, not one.
correct, yeah. If you're making hot cocoa, like make hot cocoa. Be an adult.
What's your take on the sequels of Santa Claus?
The second one's not. It's fine. The third one I remember a little better.
You got Martin Short. The third one I think is better than the second one.
Yeah.
Martin Short, but the movie, I think they both suck.
I agree. I think the first one is the one. It's the only one I watched, and I haven't watched the second or third one in probably over a decade.
Yeah.
But they were fine. I mean, I know it has a TV show now too, which is interesting.
Yeah, they got a lot of backlash from having some sort of Satan acknowledgement where there was like kids holding these letters and like they spelt out like welcome Satan instead of welcome Santa Claus.
Oh, weird.
They got some backlash. I don't know. I mean, obviously not enough backlash where they canceled the show because they got season 2 going.
Yeah.
But you haven't seen that.
No, I haven't. No.
I actually tried to put it on last year when it first came on, the first episode, and in the first 30 seconds I had to shut it off because it was so bad.
Really?
It was that bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did we lose the Christmas spirit?
They don't have the Christmas spirit. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Disney's fucking. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. What's your favorite thing about this Santa Claus film?
My favorite thing. That is a great question. I love the interactions with the reindeer.
Okay.
I just think it's really like super funny because the reindeer like obviously have a higher intelligence of like normal animals, and they're like Scott Calvin's like, what do I do? And the I think is it Prancer or whoever is like, do I put on the coat? And they're just like sitting there like, yep, you should, man, you're gonna become Santa. Yeah.
Nah, I fuck with that. Is there anything that you don't like about the film or wish was different or better?
Charlie's whiny voice.
You don't fuck with Charlie's voice?
No. I understand the necessity of it in the movie. I just hate it.
Okay, because I always thought Charlie was on point.
No, it's necessary in the movie. He does a great job. The actor does, but it's just like, oh my god, this little kid. Like, wah, 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 wah. That's how he sounds to me.
Fair. Who do you think does the best portrayal of Santa Claus in the movie?
Like being Santa? Mm-hmm. Tim Allen.
You think he is the best Santa Claus of all time?
At the end, yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
All right. What is your favorite Christmas movie of all time?
We were talking about this earlier. Jim Carrey, The Grinch.
Okay.
It's so
I agree.
on point. It's comical. Jim Carrey back then could do no wrong. And it's just so funny. Like,
dude, it's so the only bad thing about that film is that singing sequence with Cindy Lou.
Yeah.
That shit's fucking atrocious. But they're talking about doing a sequel to that.
interesting. I wonder what they would do
It doesn't sound like a good start because there's not a sequel.
to The Grinch. Yeah.
But I don't know if. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would have hoped that Jim Carrey signing on, there was something substantial to gravitate towards and make a cool story. But yeah, I hope for the best because that is my favorite Christmas movie as well. So to have a sequel to it would suck if it was just some bullshit.
Yeah, I'm like, there's certain movies that I'm worried about like sequels for or like that are coming up. Like, obviously, you and I, one of our favorite movies is Tron. They're like the third one's in pre-production.
Yeah.
It's gonna have Jared Leto in it, and I'm not a huge fan of him.
Yeah, he sucks overall.
So I'm really nervous about that. I mean, it's interesting though, really quick on Tron, like Cillian Murphy was in the first Tron, or second Tron, excuse me, the newer one. And like he plays Edward Dillinger, who's like the son of the villain from the first one, which I thought would have been really cool. And Cillian Murphy, obviously, with Oppenheimer.
Killian or Cillian?
So either
I don't know.
Mr. Murphy. I'll do that.
Yeah, his presence on screen is fire.
It's fire, and like obviously Oppenheimer was phenomenal.
I hadn't seen that yet.
It's really
but
good.
That's where I thought they were gonna go in the direction of is having him in the sequel, which I think they should. Even if Jared Leto's in it,
they should have him in it. I agree.
He should be. Cillian Murphy or Cillian. Cillian sounds better.
Yeah, I
More
could.
accurate,
Yeah, I could be wrong. I don't
no
wanna,
idea.
I don't want to butcher his name.
But he would kill it.
And then the other one that I saw recently was I Am Legend is going to have Michael B. Jordan in it, and Will Smith's coming back. And Will Smith was like, "Yeah, we're going to take the alternate ending of the DVD where Will Smith lives, like my character." So it's like
disinterested.
I'm so like the first like I Am Legend, such a good movie. I just like hope it's not bad.
Is there any other sequels that you're concerned about?
No, those are the two on the top of my head.
Yeah, Tron's a big one that I'm concerned about. The Grinch for me. Like I don't know what the fuck they're doing with that. The Fantastic Beasts films, like they just have been off the mark, and I just feel like they've gotten a little better as they progress, but they just haven't done anything drastic to be a lot better. Do you have a Christmas movie that you think is bad? Like the worst movie you've ever seen in a Christmas movie?
Worst Christmas movie? I don't know. I really can't off the top of my head. I'm not like Home Alone's fine. It's not one of those ones I go crazy for Christmas.
Do you think it's overrated?
Yeah.
Home Alone is overrated.
Yeah, I think it is.
Because?
I just think it's like an overrated Christmas movie, and it's fine. It's a fine movie. It's just not my like. If I want to watch Christmas to get in the Christmas spirit, I don't want to watch some little kid beating up two old dudes trying to rob the house.
That's fair.
Like I want to watch like the Santa Claus or the Grinch or something that's like mere focus is Christmas itself.
I like that.
Yeah,
that's fair. So I wanted to bring this up because I thought this was fucking crazy. So this movie, it's spelled the Santa Claus, clause with an E because it's the clause of like an agreement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whatever. And I spelt clause in Santa Claus with an E until my 20s.
Really?
And I don't know how many other people out there have done this, but I spelled Santa Claus incorrectly until my 20s because of this movie.
That's kind of hilarious.
Crazy, right?
It's crazy, yeah.
There's a couple people out there right now that are like, oh, fuck, I still spell it like that.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. There's no way I'm the only person that spelled
there's no
Santa
way.
Claus incorrectly because of this movie.
Yeah.
And if I am, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, you're an anomaly, you know what I mean?
Goddamn.
One of one.
Is there anything else you want to like talk about this film or no?
I really like, the North Pole setting. They did a good job. We already talked about that. The special effects are so bad, but it's 94. So like I could overlook it.
They didn't bother me.
It didn't, yeah.
They're bad at times, but
yeah. The Elf Squad, like you know what I mean?
Special Forces.
The Special Forces is pretty fire. I like at the end how, Scott or Santa Claus gets his ex-wife and Neil the Christmas presents that they wanted as a kid. It's a very nice touch in the movie. You know what I mean?
Goes full circle.
It's just a really well done movie in my opinion. And just like looking at all the little elves catching up and like going back now and watching it, looking for stuff, you know what I mean? To like try to like for this review, it's just like seeing the elves just like plotting on him before he even becomes Santa is so funny to me.
Yeah, it's definitely cool that they speckled it in there because you never noticed the fact that there was elves
correct
in the scenes early on in the film, but they're present plotting apparently.
Yeah. I love the boardroom scene where he shows up in his sweats because he doesn't have any clothes that fits him. Yeah. And he just starts ordering a bunch of food. And they're like, dude, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I feel great.
Yeah, he's like, ice cream sundae. And then the girl was like looking at him where he's like, on the side. Yeah. Or no, he said hot fudge
sundae.
And he's like, hot fudge on the side or something like that. Like, so I'm butchering the fuck out of it. But
it was just sitting funny. There like crushing it, and then they're talking about like Santa with tanks. He's like, Santa would never do that, like because he's like talking about himself. He's like, no way.
Yeah, no, that's cool. They had a lot of good perspectives of like
the scene at the soccer field where all the kids start like coming over and sitting on his lap. It's so funny.
Super sus.
Super. Yes, I mean you can't get away with that nowadays.
Definitely not.
during that scene, it's so funny. And like the ex-wife and Neil are like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you're taking this like bit a little too far.
Yeah.
And the fact that they think it's a bit for so long makes it like that much funnier to me. Because it's like, he's like, it's really not a bit, man. I'm just getting fat. I'm sorry. Like,
they lined up themselves.
Yep.
No, this movie is good. I like it. I think it's a classic.
It is. Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely a classic.
That's like whenever we get to the rating, that's going to go into my rating just with like nostalgia and classic for Christmas movies. And I'm more basing it off like a Christmas movie scale than I am like an actual movie scale, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but also like keep the whole scope in mind. I try to keep it.
Yeah.
I know it's tricky when you are reviewing all sorts of genres and stuff, but I think, having the consideration of it being a Christmas movie, it gets a little bump or whatever if it's a classic, but you don't overdo it.
Yeah, it's not going to be overdone. No.
No. Do you have a rating? You can hit it if you want.
I do, yeah.
If you're good, you want to cover anything else? Or
I mean, is there anything you want to cover, man? Like,
no, it's good. Like I just think this movie's like it's tight. I think it's a Christmas classic. I think overall it's good. There's nothing I think it was well written.
Yeah.
And executed, and it's solid.
Yeah.
And it's got good quips and jokes in it.
And it's a quick, I mean, nothing more I love than a quick 90-minute movie. You're in and out, you know what I mean? Gets through the plot. There's not like a lot of dragging. There's not a lot of, fluff in that movie. They get you in and out. It's perfect for like younger kids to watch.
That was the 90s. The 90s would do that shit.
Yeah.
Like, unless it was like, because they have VHS joints too.
Yeah,
so like
correct.
VHS, they couldn't put a 2-hour movie on one tape.
VHS. Also, you said favorite Christmas movie. I want to give a shout out to my cousin Nick. Friday After Next, we watch that every Christmas. That's my Christmas movie around like 2 days before Christmas or Christmas Eve.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
I would say like there's so many that or not so many, but there's a handful. Like Polar Express, low key, I fuck with.
Polar Express is sick.
Dude, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Like The Grinch obviously is number one. God, there's a lot of good ones. The Christmas Carol, Scrooge is great.
Yep. I have a question for you that I find really interesting. So the other week, I was at my friend Morgan's house and we were watching A League of Their Own. Have you seen that movie? The girls playing baseball. Tom Hanks is the manager.
I haven't seen that one.
Okay,
90s
so
or 80s?
80s, I think. I might be talking out of my ass, but it has like Gina Davis in it, Madonna, Rosie O'Donnell, like way before, like she got like super famous. Yeah, baseball. But in that movie, Tom Hanks is like yelling at certain points, and all in my brain, I can picture him as Woody yelling in that movie. Woody from Toy Story.
Oh.
So like that's all I could picture when he's like swearing and like yelling. I just picture him being Woody, like going around with like his like, because his movements are really similar to like Woody's in that, because he's like basically wasted the whole movie at the beginning. Right. So it was just like super interesting that I made that parallel, and I make that parallel with the Santa Claus with Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear. So like when he's like saying certain stuff, like the way he says it in the tone, I think of Buzz Lightyear, if that makes sense.
It's funny because I didn't once thought of Buzz Lightyear.
Really?
Yeah. I don't really connect him with it for some reason.
Interesting.
I'm not like a Tim Allen guy. Like, I don't think.
I mean, I love Toy Story. Toy Story.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And I thought Tim Allen was funny in this movie.
Oh, he's super funny.
But I don't know a lot of other movies that I don't know his catalog per se, but anything I've seen him as, nothing impressive.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is the most impressive thing that he's done, hence why
he's doing a obviously show. He's got, Home Improvement, obviously like network television and
yeah, but that shit's so fucking like cheap and lame to me. Like,
no, that's fair. I get it.
It's like,
it's just little stuff like that I like to catch on as like I get older and think about things.
As far as the connection of actors.
The connection like back to like Toy Story and like stuff I watched when I was little, and just like thinking about it all and being like, oh my God, I was like, that's right. Like Tom Hanks like yelling in this movie reminds me of Woody, like the tone of voice he's yelling in, Well,
I mean, I know the jokes hit different watching this movie as an adult.
Like the whole scope of the movie hits different just because like the scene at Denny's with like all the divorced dads in there.
Yeah.
It's just like, damn.
Way different.
Like that was like, I mean, that's prevalent for people nowadays. You know what I mean? Like,
divorce rate's the highest ever.
Yeah. Kids that grow up in divorced families, you're doing Christmas Eve with, dad or mom, and then vice versa on Christmas Day. And, this movie in the 90s did a really good job of conveying that. And like, again, like I said, bringing people together because it's more about the kid than it is about, the Christmas spirit, which is,
it's
great.
Hey, I love it. Yeah, and I wonder what other people's Christmas routines are that they have with movies. I'd love to hear those. My G's is the cookies and milk.
Cookies and milk, some Santa Claus. Friday after next, pretty inebriated. Inebriated.
Hey.
So that's my Christmas thing, and then typically we'll go to the casino like Christmas Eve.
That's so not Christmas spirit.
It is though, because like I'll wear the sweater out at the casino.
So it's Christmas spirit. 'Cause you wear the sweater.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Like I'll even throw on like some red pants, maybe a Santa hat. Who knows? You know?
Okay. Nice. How many Santa hats do you own?
I think a couple too.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't own any.
they're buried deep in the closet, but they're there.
Hey,
Ooh, while we're on the Christmas subject, do you do stockings?
like with my family?
Yeah,
Yes.
stockings are low key the best part of Christmas.
Oh, they're definitely the best part of Christmas.
Like you're like, oh man, like sick. Like I don't have to buy deodorant. Like I don't have to buy floss
oh
picks.
yeah,
like,
you're
you know
like,
what I mean?
oh, you got the toothpaste I use. Thanks, mama.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just fire. I love stockings. Guess what? You heading for a rating for Santa Claus?
I'm gonna go 8.6. It gets a 0.5 bump for Christmas.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna hit the film with a 6.9, and
Okay.
I know that sounds low,
Nice.
but I think it's a classic Christmas movie that should be in the yearly rotation. And I just think overall, like sometimes, like, yeah, I think that's fair.
I think so too, yeah.
like it's good. I don't think it's great, but I think it's worthy of a classic and being the yearly Christmas rotation. But if we're comparing it to other big Christmas movies, like I don't think it stands up against The Grinch.
Yeah, I
instance.
really am curious off the top of my head what my rating was for The Grinch.
I can tell you in a second.
That would be great.
I think I have it here. Let me see.
'Cause maybe I'll have to change my rating if it's higher than The Grinch because it's not better than The Grinch. I don't think it is.
No, I think you had. Let me see. Oh, I don't have it right here. I can try to pull it up. Did you give it an 8.7? What did you give this movie? 8.6?
Yeah.
Okay. Talk for a second while I pull this up.
Yeah, so if it's a step right below The Grinch for the 8.7, I'll be happy with that. And if not, I may have to adjust my rating. I'll do my shameless plug now.
Yeah, do your plugs.
Yeah, perfect. So everybody watching on YouTube or listening over the airways on whatever podcast network you listen on, my name is Matt. I also stream on YouTube under MG the Iceman. I just got partnered over on YouTube. So what that means is I have memberships to my channel, donos, super chats. So got some income coming in from that, which is pretty cool. But I do a lot of giveaways for COD Battle Points, COD Call of Duty. I play Warzone. In particular, I stream almost every day. I took today off because tomorrow's a pretty big day for me. New Warzone map drop, so I'm going to be playing all day Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But if you guys are interested, it's at MG the Iceman on YouTube. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I got clips. Going to be pumping out a lot of content this year. Shout out to Lil Teacup, my editor, and then shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, John Smith, for always rocking with me whenever I'm playing Warzone.
That's right.
Yeah,
I can't pull this up right now.
that's okay.
That fucking pisses me off.
I'll just live in regret, not knowing.
I don't know why that shit ain't pull up. So what day did you already tell them what days you stream?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I stream almost every day. I go live almost every day. Monday through Friday is typically around like 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Saturday and Sunday will be a little different. I'll get on earlier in the day. And then Sunday, I try to get in a little stream during football season. But once the NFL is over, we'll be back streaming quite a bit.
Word.
On
And are you
Sundays.
doing any new video game streams? Like
No new video game streams as of right now, especially with the new, Call of Duty content coming out. That seems to be the big push on my channel. So that's what I rock with, and that's probably the game I'm best at. But we'll probably dabble into some more Spider-Man. I still need to play that game. There's like a game catalog that I have right now that I haven't played yet that I need to play. So probably Spider-Man. I want to do the new Jedi game, the new Star Wars game, the Jedi sequel game.
Yeah.
Is it Survivor?
Yeah, I
Yep.
think that's what it's called.
So that's it's on my list. But it's going to be a lot of Call of Duty content coming out, man. I'm excited. It'll be fun. Humble brag, me and John Smith and my boy Drew, aka Gunlack, finished top 100 for World Series of Warzone. So it's good gameplay. And obviously, most of the time, I'm playing with my boys, having a good time, being a bunch of idiots. So I really enjoy it. And the fact that I get to make a little money doing it now makes it even better. But I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's my goal for my birthday in April. And the reason for that is because then I can get some ad revenue from YouTube itself. So
fucks with it, dude.
that's the goal. So please shoot me a subscribe again at MG the Iceman. Hopefully the link is down below on the YouTube and on the podcast.
It shall be. It shall be. I'm trying to fucking pull this shit up, and it's fucking annoying. Do you have your phone?
Yeah.
Pull it up on your phone, because like this is fucking. I don't know why Spotify is not working. All this, but I want to get your original rating. I think it's 8.7, because I think mine's a 9.1. Because I think mine's I'm almost positive yours is 8.7. But yeah, you definitely don't want it to be higher than that. That would be fucked up, because you're saying 8.6 for the Santa Claus.
I don't know. Is it on your YouTube?
Go on to the Spotify.
Okay.
And then just look up the episode, How the Grinch Stole Christmas on Spotify, like on the page. But yeah, so okay. But yeah. All right, well, we can wrap this up. I don't know if you can pull it up.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. I'm scrolling back. Oh my gosh, dude. That's crazy. I love.
Excuse us.
Yeah, this is great radio.
This is not. But that's okay. You have 5 seconds.
Okay, I got it. Guest score 8.6, perfect. Right.
It's 8.6?
Yep, mine was 8.6, yours was 9.1.
Okay. I don't know why this had 8. Okay, cool. So they're the same. That's okay?
No. Oh, 8.5 for the Santa Claus. The Grinch
8.5 for the Santa. Okay.
On principle.
Okay. See, that's fine. All right. So you got your plugs on. We good?
Yeah.
Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's always a blast per usual. I know we got a little quick in and out today, but it's not a bad thing.
No, that's good. No, sometimes we just gotta handle business and get out. Sorry for the lag on verifying the scores, but we wanted to make sure that shit was staying consistent as best as possible. So I appreciate everybody's patience. We try our best over here at the Movie Rant Break. Yeah, and don't forget, everybody, if you get a second, drop a beautiful 5-star rating on podcast app, Amazon or Spotify,
Apple Music or Apple Podcasts.
I said that. I fucking said that.
You didn't say Apple. I promise.
I said the podcast app. Okay. Whatever. It wasn't
fair.
But no, I appreciate y'all, because I realized the I need to get more reviews up on that motherfucker. I don't ever direct motherfuckers to go do that. But if you could drop a review, 5-star only.
Drop a like on the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn that bell notification on for whenever One Up drops something for the Movie Rant Break on YouTube. You get to watch his beautiful face and all of his guests' beautiful faces.
Hey.
Yeah, make sure you guys go listen to the Lord of the Rings episode with John Smith. Those go crazy, because a lot of knowledge.
Finished those. Yeah, it was dope.
A lot of knowledge.
All right, so Matt G hitting Santa Claus with an 8.5. Your host hitting it with a 6.9.
Nice.
Again, thank you for being on the show.
Always. Thank you.
And thank you, all you beautiful people, for listening to this episode. I hope it was enjoyable. I love y'all. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Make sure, you give your loved ones some love, a little extra love on Christmas, and, enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Merry Christmas. That's it for everybody over here at the Movie Rant Break. Love y'all. Deuces.